Peace.
My name is Mikkel White. I'm the campus pastor here at Sycamore Creek, South Lansing.
And I'm Bob Trout. I'm just here. Actually, there's... Thank you.
That was perfect, Caleb.
People sometimes wonder why you have a co-host up here and stuff, and part of it's to obviously bounce those questions off each other, but and to be eye candy, of course. But it's also so that if we have one of the most approachable staff that's here, but also if you're new or you just have questions and stuff, I can help you direct you to get your questions answered.
Yeah.
So I'm here for you.
Yeah, thanks. Mm-hmm. That's really helpful. We have a shout-out question for you this morning. What is more significant for you, to get public recognition at your place of employment or a raise? I hear yes. I hear both. I hear
public
raise.
Recognition. Yeah.
All good answers.
Mm-hmm.
All good. Snacks. Yeah. I don't know if anyone has ever said pizza party. Anyways, that's what, okay. All right. So we have a couple of songs that we're going to sing this morning. So go ahead and stand with me and let's sing together.
1, 2, 3. Command the wind and waves, standing over every season. God, you reign, and it's all yours. The day and the night, the earth and the sky. God, it's all yours. And every breath we're taking in, we pour out again in worship. God, you offered our beginning. You have numbered all our days. Your love for us is everlasting beyond the grave. You reign, and it's all yours. The day and the night, the earth and the sky. God, it's all yours. Every breath we're taking in, we pour out again. And it's all yours, the day and the night, the earth and the sky. God, it's all yours. Every breath we're taking in, we pour out again in worship. The mountains rise and lift your name. The oceans roar and shout your praise. Everything is yours. The mountains rise and lift your name. The oceans roar and shout your praise. Everything is yours. Everything is yours. And it's all yours. The day and the night, the earth and the sky. God, it's all yours. Every breath we're taking in, we pour out again in worship. And it's all yours, the day and the night, the earth and the sky. God, it's all yours. Every breath we're taking in, we pour out again in worship. God, it's all yours, it's all yours.
It's such a good reminder for me coming out of, the week I had was like ups and downs and lots of things pulling on me, and it's just a reminder that all things are God's, and I think that's true for all of us in the moments of when we question it or not. God is present, and He's with us, right? So we're gonna sing a song we haven't sung recently, but I think everyone knows, called I Will Follow. And it's one that is just this good anthem of being able to come back to God and say, God, I will follow you wherever you lead me. So let's sing this together.
Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. I will follow. All your ways are good. All your ways are sure. I will trust in you alone. Higher than my sight, high above my life. And I will trust in you alone. 'Cause where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. And you move, I'll move. I will follow. Who you love, I'll love. How you serve, I'll serve. If this life I lose, I will follow. Light unto the world, light unto my life. And I will live for you alone. You're the one I see, knowing I will find all I need in you alone, in you alone. Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. I will follow. Who you love, I'll love. How you serve, I'll serve. If this life I lose, I will follow. Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. And I will follow. Who you love, I'll love. How you serve, I'll serve. If this life I lose, I will follow. And I will follow you. Life everlasting. In you there's freedom for my soul. In you there's joy, unending joy. And I will follow. Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. I will follow. Who you love, I'll love. How you serve, I'll serve. If this life I lose, I will follow. Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. I will follow you. You love, I'll love. How you serve, I'll serve. In this life I lose, I will follow you. And I will follow you, yeah. And I will follow you, yeah. And I will follow
Yeah. That's right, God, we will follow you. Thank you so much. Feel free to go ahead and have a seat. Kids, you are dismissed to go upstairs to Kids Creek.
Would you just join me in thanking God for our band? And we had auditions last week, and we added some members to our band, and we are so thankful.
Yeah, Caleb.
This kid right here, it was amazing. All right, so kids, you should be going up to Kids Creek. When you came in this morning, you should have gotten
a connection card.
a connection card.
So you start filling it out.
Looks like this. Whether it's your first time here or you've been here for months and months and months, go ahead and pull that out.
Years and years. Fill it out.
Years and years.
Yeah.
start with your name and your email. If you've got other information to update, go ahead and do that. Or just write your name and your email. And we'll give you more instructions on that at the end of our service. I left my phone, Bob.
You always do that. Okay.
I left my phone.
Okay, no,
it's time
here.
for selfie
Okay.
of the week. Oh,
All right.
look at that.
Great. What a nice guy.
Nathan for the win. Okay, pull out your phone. Snap a selfie. And then post that to your social media with the hashtag SCCMI, or you can tag us on Instagram, Sycamore Creek Church, Michigan. Look, all those ways. You can even email us at office@sycamorecreekchurch.org. This week's selfie of the week is Erin Umstead. Amazing, joining us online last week. I hope that she doesn't care. She posted it to Facebook, so we're just like resharing it, you know?
She's amazing.
If you post yours and tag us, then maybe next week you'll be featured as our selfie of the week.
Is there a chance that since we're up here and, we would get picked too? Because it's a pretty good picture.
It is a pretty good picture. Typically, we don't choose staff.
Yeah,
Or,
I thought so.
to my kids' chagrin, staff kids, we don't often pick them. My son probably texted me a picture already to say, please post this.
Okay.
So,
Good.
yeah, he did. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What have we got going on this week, Bob?
I'm going to work on my deck a little bit more. I'm sorry, what else? Did I miss that connection there? What are we doing?
Yeah, we're introducing the sermon.
We're
now.
going to continue with this wonderful, exciting church experience right now as follows.
Deep inside each of us is a longing, a yearning for greatness. We want to know the world is different because we have lived. We want to make our mark. We want to be remembered for something beyond average, something great. But how do we get there? In this practical and inspiring series, we'll encourage you to take the next step on your journey towards a full, abundant life. We'll help you get connected to others, to God, and to your greater purpose through service. You can be great. You can matter. You can find the purpose and significance you are longing for. Join us for this 4-week series on the greatness principle.
Good morning, Sycamore Creek. Today we are continuing our series called The Greatness Principle. And this Sunday we're specifically focusing on seizing significance. When I hear the word seizing, I'm thinking of grabbing a hold of something, embracing a person, place, or thing, and not letting go. So a great example of seizing a moment was when we were all in COVID. And I took that moment when the world stood still to write my book, a book that I have been thinking about for 6 years, and have been looking at my notes, continuing taking notes. I would have been able to take notes for forever. But I seized the moment when I was granted space and time to just jump on a moment, and I call it a jump scared moment. Jump scared and just went ahead and did it. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity because now looking at my schedule, we're working here at the church and working at my studio and working with my kids and spending time with my husband. Where do I have the time to write a book? Nowhere right now. So look for those kind of moments where you can seize a moment that you might normally not have. And then when I hear the word significance, I think of importance, value, and impact. These are just some of the words I want you to ponder about and hold with you throughout this message as we continue the greatness principle. The series is based on this book to help us explore finding significance and joy by serving others, written by Nelson Searcy and Jennifer Dykes Henson. The greatness principle says, bless others and God will bless you, simply put. But shout out to me what you think of when you hear the word blessing? Do you think of things like rewards or gifts or things that God will give you as a result of this, that, and the other? The blessing that we are talking about is the presence of God in your life, being a part of the family and the body of Christ, being in community with like-minded people that will care for you as you care for them. This is not a rewards program. So, as we dive into this, my name is Tiffany Norday. I'm the worship producer here at the South Lansing campus of Sycamore Creek Church. So the authors of this book begin this next part of the series talking about their experience going to Disney World with their child and discovering and being made aware of something that was very unique to the park. Did you know that there are Mickey Mouse images hidden throughout Disney World? I had no idea until I was preparing for this message. The early Disney engineers hid discrete Mickey Mouse images throughout all of the park and various attractions, places. The images are simply 3 connected intersecting circles that look like the outline of the Mickey Mouse head and ears. They can be seen on the pavement, painted on the walls of buildings and in the fences, and arranged in the landscaping of the park. But most people don't see them, and because they don't see them, they don't know to look for them. And then reading this book, I can concur, I never knew this existed either. It makes you want to go back to Disney World just to see for myself. But after someone made them aware of this cool fact about the park, they began to see these Mickey Mouse images popping out of the woodworks here and there. It's sort of like when you get a new vehicle and now you notice all of a sudden people in your city who have the very same vehicle you have or the same color car you have. But now your eyes have been made open and you can't unsee it now. How many of you guys can relate to that? Here's the first step to seizing significance in our lives, and that is awareness. Awareness of what? It's the awareness of opportunities to serve people. The first step in living by the greatness principle is to look for opportunities to bless others every day. You might ask or wonder, why is it so important to look for opportunities to serve and help one another? Well, Paul reminds us in the Bible that to do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility, count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. And to look is to be aware. It's an awareness of not just of our own needs, in which self-care is very vital to the life and should be practiced daily, but it's also the needs of others. The authors of the book go on to describe how we all have a deep down desire in our soul and hunger to connect with a purpose bigger than ourselves. And that God puts people in our path every day that we could be a blessing to. But if we are not walking in awareness, then we are missing these opportunities daily. Which leads us right into our first chat question. Take a moment to think back over the last few months. Have you missed opportunities to serve other people? Let's discuss.
Turn. Oh, there we go. Okay, I thought that was me.
We had a great discussion
we
here.
did have a great discussion. You go first.
Well, I talked about how it just takes a moment to not jump in because there was somebody that needed help with help at Kids Creek, and Mikkel was there, and I was there, and I know she was getting ready to service and getting ready, and I said, "Well, she's a pastor; she can go over and do it." I should have gone on and helped out instead. But like last week, I was over at the gas station, and somebody just looked like they needed some help, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know. My wife's way better at this. She's an angel, a saint, but she's just." But I just didn't do it. I could have done it, and I was either afraid or didn't want to take my time away to help out this person. But it's like God's time and stuff, so I could have done it.
Yeah, I also have a hard time when I see people who are in need to jump in, and I think I have a fear of their needs are going to be so much bigger than what I have capacity for, and then I get overwhelmed, pre-overwhelmed.
But you got a job to do. You got other things to do. Well, I'm retired, so I have less of an excuse. But
I didn't mean
it's hard. Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope that you all had good conversations as well. And it got you just thinking about how sometimes you just need to be looking for the opportunities. And if we're not looking for those opportunities, they can pass us by pretty easily. So Tiffany is preaching to us via video, and we're really blessed this morning to have her teaching on all of our videos. So if you need to move to make sure you can see the screens well, then go ahead and do that, but we're going to continue the message with this.
Now, some of you guys might already have a practice in place of looking for these opportunities. So hopefully in the discussion, you were able to share those moments with your neighbor. But for some of us, this is definitely a thought-provoking question that will hopefully get our minds to rolling and thinking of those moments where we can be more aware of such opportunities. Now, don't feel bad if you're just now realizing that you're missing these opportunities. If God is giving you breath to breathe, you still have the opportunity to seize these moments. Because once you open your eyes to watch around you, you will finally see those hidden Mickeys, those opportunities everywhere. Now you might be wondering, how do I start? Where do I begin? What should I do to lend a helping hand? Well, our second step to seizing significance is prayer and listening. Let us move beyond just being aware of what we as a church community does in the city and abroad. Where do you see yourself in this family portrait? What is your heart and mind and gut being drawn to be a part of? Remember what we talked about last week. Pastor Mark talked about Matthew 25. Let's take another look at it to jog our memory. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me into your home. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you cared for me. I was in prison, and you visited me." This is one place to start. It's a very popular passage of scripture that was named the Great Compassion passage. And it specifically points out 6 key teachings on the importance of seeing and seizing the moment to help another. Number 1, I was hungry and you fed me. Here's an example. My sorority and my husband's fraternity right here in the city of Lansing does a monthly community service food drive. And it's a continual thing. Because why? The need is always there. And right here at Sycamore Creek, over at the Eastwood campus, we have a very active food pantry. Number 2, I was thirsty and you gave me drink. Cities as close as Flint have been affected with having a very serious water crisis, oftentimes it is comforting to think of these situations as far away and abroad problems. Many people send water to various agencies at the height when it was the main topic on the news. But when is the last time you and I have checked on the status of those affected? What more could we do to be better service? Take a look at this map. Even though this is not a widespread epidemic like COVID, it's still a problem that deserves attention, care, and solution. Number 3, I was a stranger and you invited me into your home. When I think of this one statement here, I can't help but think of our homeless population here in Lansing. Just like our city built little houses as mini shops for a farmer's market downtown, it would be so caring and mindful to do the same thing for the homeless. Wouldn't you think? Then there's number 4. I was naked and you gave me clothing. Through my sorority, we have often done a hat and gloves drive, and I've participated in events that helped to raise money for coats because it gets cold up here in Michigan. This is an act of service to think and to do something for that stranger and neighbor that we don't know. Then there's number 5. I was sick and you cared for me. I'm going to use Tom Fox here as an example. He's our care pastor here at the church, and he oftentimes visits the sick and those who are hospitalized. Number 6, I was in prison and you invited me. We imprison more people in the United States than any other country. And if we were to seize a moment in history where forgiveness could be extended, now would be a time in lieu of the boom of the weed dispensary industry and the wealth gap widening as we speak. We have individuals of color who are locked up for the same line of work that others are making millions on. Oh God, help us to see these contradictions and to move to action in some way. This goes to show you that there are so many opportunities all around us to serve. And on the flip side, due to this new sense of awareness, this may quickly become overwhelming to think about all of these needs and possibly the needs of your own on top of that. But in community with many hands and minds coming together, work has the potential to be light. In the book, there was this quote that summed up what we just reviewed in a nutshell. I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. I will not refuse to do the something I can do. Thus, don't let the overwhelming quantity of opportunities to assist and help keep you from seizing the right opportunity for you to serve. I can relate to this. It's kind of like business. The number one thing that we learn is, who is your audience? We are not here to serve everyone. The second thing we learn is the discovery of your niche. What makes how you serve your community significant? And in order to answer this, you and I have to have those uninterrupted moments of prayer to identify those points, because God promises, I will guide you along the way, the best pathway for your life. I will advise you and watch over you. Listening is so vital. It's like the cornerstone of service. Listening to God, listening to the team of people you are serving with, and most of all, listening to the consumer or receiver of your service. Anytime someone talks about serving the community, whether it's locally, nationally, or abroad, I always think of this book, When Helping Hurts: How to Alleviate Poverty Without Hurting the Poor and Yourself. Simply put, it informs us that there is significance in listening, active listening at that, and that this simple but hard action for some of us to do is what is highly recommended and suggested to us to lead with listening, and it will save you and I and the people we're serving a whole heap of trouble that might cost us money and time. Answer these questions for me. How does it make you feel when someone is actively listening to you? Doesn't it make you feel significant in a way? Doesn't it make you feel seen as a human? And in those occasions where a stranger, friend, community, or family member meets not just what they think you need, but what you actually need, how does that make you feel? To be heard can feel like $1,000,000. And community is what provides or should provide this safe haven to receive and give feedback, listen and try new things, and to never assume what you think may be the obvious thing that needs fixing or repair when it comes to helping a fellow human. It requires some research, asking those in need what they need and letting go of what you think others need. Are you ready for our next chat question? What steps could you take to be more aware of the needs and opportunities surrounding you?
Very much.
So one of the things I was thinking about as I pondered this question is how recurring opportunities can be really helpful here. You know, Tiffany mentioned that her sorority and her husband's fraternity, they have like this monthly food drive. And so they get together every month and they work to meet a need of people being hungry. And so I don't know. It reminds me of like, I think giving is important. And so I automate my giving to the church and to other organizations so that I don't forget it.
Makes it easy too.
Right?
Yeah.
And this is kind of like that. It's like an automated thing.
Right.
It's not that it doesn't affect your heart and it's not also spiritual, but like having that recurring opportunity can help.
And that's easy, but it's the hard things where you're just
That's
seeing
true.
somebody and stuff, and you gotta really open up to what your heart's saying instead of what it's saying. What the good part of your heart, not the devil on the shoulder, the angel there saying, "Oh, you ought to really help out here." So it's sometimes hard just getting that motivation to do that. And I got to work on that.
Well, the good news is I think that might be what we talk about next.
Super.
So you're teasing what's coming next. So let's just continue on.
Thanks.
Now that we've discussed awareness and prayer and listening, we're moving on to discussing how gifts and follow through play a role in seizing significance. And it begins with looking at discovering our gifts. By a show of hands, how many of you know what your gift, talent, calling is? Or in layman's terms, what are you good at doing? And how many of you would say you're still in the discovery phase? In the Bible, Romans 12:6 says, "In His grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well." So if God has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as God has given you. If your gift is serving others, serve them well. If you are a teacher, teach them well. If your gift is encouraging others, be encouraging. If it is giving, give generously. If God has given you leadership abilities, take the responsibility seriously. And if you have a gift of showing kindness to others, do it gladly. Each one of you have a talent that can be used to bless others. Here's 5 ways to bless others. Give your time. That means a little time a month can add up in the long run. Share your talent. Once you've identified what you're good at, let's follow through with putting it into some type of action. Third, invest in your treasure. This can mean your time, money, connections, information, and etc. Encourage with your talk. With those active listening skills that we now all have, leaning into our discernment with the help of the Holy Spirit to guide our words if encouragement is needed. Remember, it could very well be a moment just to sit and be present with another person. Fifth, proclaim your testimony. Just like in business, we are often asked, what is our why or our elevator speech? In the entrepreneurship world, this is our story and our testimony of profit and loss, failure and triumph, and success stories from our trusted customers who can testify of the benefits that they have experienced and received from one thing that I am good at. And it's a positive service to my community. Because we are all God's testimony, in his word, he says, for we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do the good things he planned for us long ago. In essence, this means that we need to be aware of our talents, then take it a step forward and discover where they can be used in a helpful and uplifting way. Here's something to think about in your seats. What are some activities you naturally gravitate toward that could be indicative of ways you could serve? When it boils down to it, greatness equals significance. Not being great in one's own self, but making such an impact that the significance of God's love, grace, mercy, gifts, talents, kindness, and how we treat one another can be seen and heard and felt. And that is what will last long after you and I are gone. You want to aspire to leaving something worth replicating. Why is this important? Because in 1 Corinthians 12:7, it says, to each is given the manifestation of the Spirit for the common good. Another translation puts it in this way: a spiritual gift is given to each of us so we can help each other. This is greatness. This is significance that doesn't come from wealth or fame or power or success or circumstances. This is the greatness of sharing God's love and grace and mercy and forgiveness with those around us. This is the kind of greatness that leaves a lasting impact long after you and I are gone. What I want for you is a life of significance. What God wants for you is a life of significance. How cool would it be if the totality of your life was significant? That's significance at its best, when a life is significant because of the blessings of others. Now imagine that even bigger. Imagine being a part of a community where we are significant together. Imagine a church where we are blessing each other. Imagine a church where we are a blessing to our community. That's what we're trying to be. That's what we're working to do. Let's go forth and see significance together. So now let's take 90 seconds and take out that connection card and either write on there your answer to our final question or check off one of the next steps that best answers this question for you. List some concrete ways you could bless those around you in the coming weeks.
another thing.
Yeah. So some of the things that came to mind, your serve sheet should be in your program. So this has got some really practical ways. On the front here, there's just ongoing opportunities. And then on the back, we've got first serve opportunities because Christmas is coming up. We've got places that you can jump in and serve and bless our community. Like some of the stuff is like we're doing Christmas karaoke at Ellison, and that's just like a fun time with our community. It's not like it's not necessarily for us. It's just like a way to bless the community with some fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice stuff on here. I mean, you
Yes.
can go through and they'll give you ideas as far as what you want to do. I crossed off a huge section that I have no interest in working with at all. But there's some things
That's
that you will
fair.
find
That's
interesting.
fair.
So.
Yeah. And then the other thing that came to mind is we're coming up on obviously the Christmas season, and we have a Christmas Eve offering challenge, and all the money that goes to that challenge is used to care for and bless our community. And so that's like another really practical thing that's coming up. It's used for things like our gas giveaway on Mardi Gras and the Totes for Teachers that we did at the beginning of the school year. That was like funded from our Christmas Eve offering.
I like that, because it helps me not spend as much because I know I'm going to have to give more to the church. But it also, it has
because,
been.
The challenge is that you're giving to this offering as much as you're spending.
No, yes, but it's that focus on commercialization of Christmas and all that stuff. But it's still really good, so I like it. So
yeah. Well, what came to mind for you?
Well, I wrote on my card because it's going to make me actually do this. A friend of mine asked me to take them to the airport really early in the morning, and I'm going to tell them that I'm going to do that. Actually, that's one of those ministries that it's just like, I like driving the car, and I don't mind taking people on trips to the airport, and it's a nice way to talk with people, connect with people. So it's kind of a neat thing to do. I also, my daughter, who's moderately nice, she throws me stuff every so often about things to do, and I have to recognize it. So she said, "Oh, Dad, I'm going to write a letter to a prisoner once a week because I read about it. I think it's a good thing to do." I'm like, "Oh, I help out with the food bank already. I don't have to do everything." And it's like, well, there really isn't a reason to, so I'm going to do that, I guess.
You're going to do that?
I have to.
Begrudgingly. Just make sure that you're nice in the letter, okay?
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Okay,
All
I'll try.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you get a chance to look over that serve sheet. You can fill out online as well. We're going to move into the next part of our service, which is our announcement video. And we have like some ways that we can connect with you. I hope, if you want to connect with us, if we can connect with you, it's a good thing. So. And we like to have fun with these, so enjoy this.
How can we thrive with new connections in the modern church? Improvise, adapt, and overcome with survival announcements. Adapt to your surroundings with your name and email on your connection card at sycamore-creek-church.org/connect. These next steps will plug you into the right places. Join teams, hang greens. Don't miss these opportunities. Overcome challenges and fears with one simple step. Fill out the serve sheet to get connected in areas that need you. Together, we can overcome the cleaning and preparation of the South Lansing basement. Bring your paint clothes on November 14th from 6 to 9 p.m. You're not alone in this, and neither are we. Everyone needs a rest sometimes. The wild urban setting can wear us down. Grab a drink on Pastor McKell and have some good conversation at Ellison Brewery and Spirits on November 15th at 7 p.m. Prepare your heart for the challenge of the season, hanging the greens on November 19th after worship. Decorate with your community and family. There will be lunch. Teens, prepare, aim, fire for the Teen Fuel Nerve Challenge coming on November 19 in Potterville. Overcome the challenge and have way too much fun with your Teen Fuel friends from 4 to 6 p.m. in Potterville. Another challenge for you to overcome. You are more than capable. Kids Creek needs you. Tell stories, pass out snacks, pray with kids. Be amazing. Sign up on your connection card. Your giving helps us weather whatever challenges come our way. Let's take it back to the worship space to see what your giving has made possible.
All
Wow,
right.
that was impressive. Anything
That
else we need
was
to cover
impressive.
more fully, or anything you really want us to do from that list?
Well, yeah, your connection card. Okay, so as we talked about already, make sure you've got your updated information. If you flip that on the back, you can check off one of the next steps or multiple. There's lots of different things to do. And actually, there's 3 things happening like in the next week. Did you catch them all?
I wasn't paying attention that much,
Okay.
but go ahead.
Yeah. So Tuesday, we're doing a cleanup in the basement. We've had a couple of things like this before, but we're actually painting a wall so that next Saturday in like 6 days, we're replacing some of the flooring in the basement downstairs. So this is like
It's flat
awesome.
flooring, right? Is it carpeting or?
It's not carpet.
Okay.
So part of what's happening in that space, just so you guys know, is that theater companies like Peppermint Creek and Ixion use that space for rehearsal, and they asked that it not be carpet, I think they called it flat floor, which is not opposed to curvy floor. I know it's like the plank flooring, whatever. Golly. So they can dance. Okay, that's really what it is. The point is that it's gonna look amazing.
Well, I have an astigmatism. Sometimes when I take off my glasses, the floors look kind of wavy, so I just want to make sure. So.
Okay.
Good.
Well,
I think that now
if
is that
you want to
from-
help us get ready for that, show up on Tuesday night and
6 to 9.
6 to 9 p.m.
Great.
and we'll be like cleaning up and painting.
Sounds
so
like fun.
wear clothes that you can get dirty. And then the next day on Wednesday is Pastor in a Pub.
That's fun.
That's really fun. If it's your first time there, I'll buy your drink. Your first drink, and you don't have to drink though. You can get soda. There's lots of different options.
French fries are great there.
French fries are really good there, and the onion rings too. So come on out. And then next Sunday is Hanging of the Greens, which is a fancy way of saying that we're going to decorate the church for Christmas, and we're going to have lunch. So all of those are there, and you can just check it off. We also have a space for prayer requests, and so if there's anything going on in your life that you're like, hey, I'd love for someone else to know about this, and just to, pray for me this week, go ahead and write that down. And then you can drop that in the blue bucket with your serve sheet and with, there's the serve sheet. We've got lots of awesome opportunities, and there's a few ways that you can give. If you choose to give this morning, you can scan that QR code and give online. You can set up a recurring gift. You can put something in the envelope and drop it in the blue bucket. All of those are great options. And however you choose to give, we're really thankful. Your giving helps make a lot of things possible here at the church. Last weekend, we had a vision team retreat. It was a chance for our leadership to get together and pray and dream and strategize about this next year and what we're going to be doing. So we gathered on Friday night and pretty much all day Saturday, and we just thought about how we could move the mission forward, partnering with God to move the mission forward in 2024.
Cool.
So.
Oh, I have a public service announcement too.
You have a
So I
public.
have my shirt on today. It's adults vaccines called adults. I put this on. I thought it also helps make older adults too.
That's true.
So
That's
I know
true.
vaccines don't always help everybody. They don't help. It doesn't prevent illness with all
Right,
vaccines,
right.
but it does help protect the whole population a lot more, and especially those folks who can't get vaccinated. It helps protect the vulnerable people.
Did you know
so.
that I got pertussis when I was 5 weeks old?
Really?
I did.
That's
So
nasty.
I
That's
must have
really
come
preventable.
into contact with an adult who hadn't been recently vaccinated, and I was hospitalized. I came pretty close to dying when I was an
nasty.
infant, and that's.
You approve of this message?
Yeah, I approve of that
Great.
message.
Thank
I'm
you.
living proof
All right.
of that message.
Good. Thank you.
You do good. Okay. All right. So we've got one more shout out. What's your biggest after blank? I'll be able to blank. Like after my big test, I'll be able to relax. After I'll be able to. Okay, cool. Well, think about that a little bit.
Do something, help other people, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, God.
The mouths of babes. Thank
Parenting
you.
from stage is a lot of fun, guys. It's real fun. All right, would you stand with me and we'll sing together?
So we're gonna sing together the song called "Heart of Worship," right? The Heart of Worship, and I think it's a really powerful song, especially as together we're coming into this holiday season, this Christmas season. You know, we talk about the Christmas Eve offering and the commercialization of Christmas. It's really easy for us to kind of, begin to focus on some of the wrong things. So this song, The Heart of Worship, is a chance for us to kind of recenter our hearts on God. And I know for me, when I'm experiencing the love of God, it's much easier to also serve others and care for others. So as we sing this song, just lean into focusing our hearts on God and His love for us.
When the music fades and all is stripped away, and I simply come, longing just to bring something that's of worth that will bless your heart. I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. You search much deeper within, through the way things appear. You're looking into my heart. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I've made it, when it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. King of endless worth, no one could express how much you deserve. Though I'm weak and poor, all I have is yours, every single breath. So I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. You search much deeper within, through the way things appear. You're looking into my heart. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I've made it, when it's all about you. It's all about you. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, when it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I've made it, when it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I've made it, when it's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus.
Darkness runs for cover, and when you move, no one's turned away. 'Cause where you are, fear turns into praises. Where you are, no heart's left unchanged. So come, move, let justice roll on like a river. Let worship turn into revival. Lord, lead us back to you. When you move, the outcast finds a justice roll on like a river. Let worship turn into revival. Oh, lead us. So come, move, let justice roll on like a river. Let worship turn into revival. Lord, lead us back to you.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Next week, we will be continuing our series on the greatness principle with a message on great expectations. I hope that you will join us. And until then, be curious, creative, and compassionate. Go in peace.